Interesting enough, that crew rode in different positions during the heats and the repechage in the finals. So
they did. I think, see, the start list for this A final, you O'Donovan and O'Driscoll of Ireland in lane 1, Di Mare and Scalzoni of Italy in lane 2, Kartal and Unsal of Turkey in lane 3, Farsha and Rhino of France. You see them lined up there. Great Britain, Castles and Scrimgeour of Great Britain in lane 5, and Bolazin and Kiasho of Russia. That's Mark O'Donovan and Shane O'Driscoll. Mark's up the bow and Shane in the stern seat. That's Ireland in lane 1.
2 minutes.
You see Giuseppe Di Mare and Alfonso Scalzoni of Italy in lane 2. Next up we've got Mert Khan Kartal of Turkey and Faith Unsal. They're in lane 3, one of the two centre lanes. They're favoured because you've got a better view of everyone behind you. Alongside them in lane 4, Vincent Fauchot and Guillaume Rano of France. That's lane 4 there. They line up alongside Joel Castles and Sam Scrimgeour of Great Britain in lane 5. They've had a good couple of years, so they're certainly ones to watch in this race. And then in lane 6, Nikita Bolazin and Alexei Kiashko, in lane 6. That's our full wind-up of 6. They're not yet under starters orders. There you see slapping the legs. That's something you see a lot in lightweights, getting the blood moving, ready to get underway. So we may be a little bit delayed here. We're just getting some uniform issues, I think, sorted out up at the start.
yeah, it's interesting looking at the British pair. They have been given license to do the transition from lightweights this year. So the British squad are running a lightweight men's pair as opposed to the lightweight men's 4, which has been removed from the Olympic programme. And they are being fully supported, Sam Scrimgeour and Joel Casals, as we look at the race favourites, possibly the Irish. A lot of countries are treating this sort of removal of the lightweight men's 4 from the Olympic programme differently. We've got the event running here, but of course it's not particularly well supported as it would have been in previous years.
Yeah, no, we'll see. It will support some of the other lightweight events, but it's still a shame to lose it. But it does bring new opportunities, and of course it brings us gender equality now for the Olympic Games. But there we go, we're underway with the first of our medal finals for this afternoon. As Crossy says, you got a strong favourite probably in Ireland. They think they've rattled Great Britain. They said in an interview on Friday they saw the British changing their setup following their defeat in the heat, so they're pretty confident. How do you feel about it, Crossy?
Well, it's a great setup, you know, the contest between the Irish and the British. Don't forget that the two Russians, Nicky Bolazin and Alex Kiashko, you see them there closest to a slow start, but they have a very good mid-course pace. They're in this too. Italians in the white boat at the top of your screen. I mean, two youngsters there, 20-year-olds. They're really combative. But the coaches of this crew, Sam, Rob Dauncey and Christian Felkel, they don't mind changing things at this early time of the season, so I wouldn't get too worried about, you know, what they were doing with the rig.
I'm not too worried. I think the Irish had clung on to that, and at the moment it's Great Britain just edging it. They took the Brits took home first in Poznan, Lucerne and Brandenburg last year. Last time out in Belgrade, the Irish came out on top. Great Britain came in third, I think, there. So a bit of a grudge match perhaps developing. You see the Irish, it's at 45 strokes a minute still. They're coming up on about 400 metres now, and they're still sat at 45 strokes.
Yeah, the thing is, that high rating, so that every time you put the blade in the water, Sam, the boat actually stops and slows down, so you have to be really careful or use a lot of energy to keep the rate high. And they've been away on training camp in Varese, so they're probably trying to phase that dry phase, but it is a risk.
It is, yeah. I mean, so far, 500 metres in, it's only just enough to hold off Great Britain, about 0.4 of a second between them at that early stage in the race. They're going to have to lift before too long.
Sam, we were talking about the world record pace set in Amsterdam in 2014. The Swiss went through in 1:35.38, and the Irish have gone through quicker than that world's best time pace, 1:35.14. This is a smoking final.
It is, certainly. So they're Well, now they've got a length actually as they go through about 6:50. That's Great Britain on your screen there. Joel Castles at bow, to the right of most of your picture in that yellow crew. And Sam Scrimgeour sat behind him in the stroke seat. Moving up towards the top of your picture, that's Giuseppe Di Mari and Alfonso Scalzoni of Italy. They're both out of the under-23 lightweight men's quad. Moving over to sweep, and they're doing themselves proud at this point.
We're used to watching the Irish, the O'Donovan brothers take it, I'd say leisurely, but they don't quite connect so well off the start. These guys, they're boff straight out. If you added the Irish pair start with the Irish lightweight men's double start, they would just be killing everybody. But this is phenomenal. You don't often see a crew rating as high as this, and I think because they've been at this training camp in Gabarati, the way they're placing the blade is quite sympathetic. It's allowing that high rating, and they're not slowing the boat down so much with using those extra strokes as they might be otherwise.
Well, the two of them, Mark O'Donovan and Shane O'Driscoll, have been in the pair together since 2015 now, so they've got a good few years under their belt, so certainly that is helping them with their balance. They're coming up through the halfway point. They are in the lead. It's quite a strong lead ahead of Italy, I would say, in second, just edging Great Britain. Not a lot to choose between them. Russia, then Turkey, then France, I think, chased them through the line there.
3:12, that's just 1.5 seconds off world's best time pace. I mean, it is a blistering pace, Sam, and you can see, because these two crews behind the Irish, they're fantastic crews. The two Italians, 20-year-olds, Giuseppe Di Mari, he's on the right of your picture, and with the white hat, Alfonso Scalzoni. Really aggressive racers, and you can see there the shot. There's the Turks in the front of your picture, ahead of them the Irish, and then the Italians and the Irish out in front with that high rate of striking. You can see still up at over 40 strokes a minute. That's pretty sensational for a pair.
It is, yeah. And bear in mind, we're still with the lightweights here as well. So these crews have weighed in this morning. A maximum weight of 72.5 kilos, but with an average crew weight of 70 kilograms or less. So you've got to make it work pound for pound. There, that's the Italians, the young crew, remember, on the screen there. Ireland still at the highest rate, still sat tapping away.
And you can see the graphic on the bottom of that screen, which shows that the men from West Cork, from Skibbereen, are the quickest moving crew on the course still. Normally we say this third quarter is absolutely crucial. That's where, if you have gone off too quickly, the legs start to tie up, and this crew will start to suffer now. I mean, it might look easy from a distance, but I tell you, this Irish crew are really beginning to suffer with 1,500 metres to go, Sam.
Yeah, they've still got a quarter of the race yet to run. They've got clear water though. They have got a huge advantage. It's quite a widely spread field, especially for lightweights. That weighting average does average out the crews perhaps, so normally we expect to see it perhaps a little bit closer. Surprising as well to see Great Britain sitting in third, behind that very, very young offering from Italy.
The Irish are slowing. That was a lot slower than the 500 that the world's best time was set in, and you can see they're tiring a bit now, and you can see the bowman there, Mark O'Donovan, not quite as fluid, not quite as natural, and this is where they're paying in this high temperature. The Italians will sense, they haven't quite got the overlap, Sam, but this is a race we've got to the finish now.
Yeah, I think the Italians will certainly be the ones to watch as they fill your screen there. They've got the most to make up. Their stroke rate now, for the first time, has just gone over the Irish. They're sitting 2 strokes a minute higher. Their speed's gone up as well, but the fastest crew on the water is Russia. Bottom of your screen, they've just gone through Great Britain. There you see Ireland. They do look, well, even if they're tired, it still looks pretty strong. Yeah,
they do, and I think they've got a second wind just as they feel sense the crowds, the noise of the crowds. The Italians still haven't got the overlap. There's about 20-25 strokes left in this race. It will be for the Irish to hang on, and I think they will do it, Sam.
Yeah, it looks to me like they've done enough. I mean, the charge now, yeah, they've still just about got a clear water advantage. Russia's still the fastest boat on the water, but they're too far away to challenge Italy. I think that really hot start, they got the work done early and banked it, but watch out for Russia. Bottom of your screen, Russia charging against Italy as they come to the line. I think Russia may have there you go. Russia ahead of Italy. It can't be by very much at all. Desperately close. Ireland did the work early on and managed to bank a lead, which they clung onto to the line. The Russians came through from about 1,500 metres. They started to pick it up. They get there in second place. I think they caught Italy fairly unawares. Only 0.15 of a second separated those two crews. There you see the lads from Skibbereen on your screen. Well-deserved win from them after a punishing first. Well, they kept the rate high for the first 1,000, and then they had to keep the rate high as they got chased for the second 1,000. That's the Russian Federation in front of you, Bolazin and Kiashko. Very impressive charge from them. I didn't expect them to come that far up through the field.
No, what a charge through. They had really shown impressive form in the middle part of the race, and the Italians just got rode through. I don't think they probably saw them coming through because the focus might have been on the Irish. But what a heroic row. I mean, I don't think, I'm trying to remember when I've seen a pair go over at that high rating. You used to see the Italians do it perhaps, but the Irish, I haven't seen them at that high cadence of stroke rate. And the way you have to do it technically, just to get the blades in quite precise in a small boat like that, it's a very demanding skill to do that higher rate and go as fast as they were. 10 seconds off world best time, but you know, the percentage, 97.46%, is an indication of the quality of this event. And these two men, no doubt for the Olympics, are going to try their hand possibly in the men's open weight pair, so they're going to put a few kilos on. And
great support there.
Yeah, yeah, you can hear that if you're watching back in Ireland. You will no doubt have smiles all over your face as you see that result.
Yeah, you see the official results on your screen there. O'Donovan and O'Driscoll in 6:32.34. Just under 2.5 seconds separated them from that fast finishing crew of Bolazin and Kiashko of Russia.